or retinols, how they work. They will induce cell renewal, right? They will peel off the upper layers of your skin. You are gonna grow other layers again, but it's not specific. You are basically, removing the good and the bad cells, the healthy cells included. And then at some point, if you do this too much, you can be exhausting your tissue because you only have so many stem cells to replace those cells that are being renewed.
Hello, and welcome to the Art of Living Well podcast. I'm Stephanie May Potter, and I'm here with my co-host, Marnie Dotches-Marmette.
We created the Art of Living Well podcast to empower you to live your happiest, healthiest, and most authentic life. Each week, we will bring you inspiring and motivating conversations covering health and wellness topics, including fitness, mindset, food, travel, product reviews, and strategies from a variety of experts, including our own bank of knowledge.
We are excited to educate, motivate, and inspire you to change the way you perceive health and discover your art of living well. Get ready to feel inspired. Hello and welcome to episode 88 of the Art of Living Well podcast. Before we jump into today's conversation, we just have a couple of announcements. The first is we just hope that everyone is enjoying summer. As this episode drops mid to late August, we can't believe how quickly the summer months have gone, and we wish everyone an enjoyable rest of summer. And I hope that you're getting out there, spending time outside, gathering and seeing friends and family that you may not have seen in a while, and just enjoying yourself. And speaking of summer, we recently wrapped up our first Thrive During the Summertime group program. And it was such an amazing group of women, and the feedback was overwhelmingly so positive. It was this community that was formed to help people stay accountable to their health goals. A lot of them were able to establish new action items or goals and overall stay on track during the fun summer months with group support and coaching. And we look forward to our next Thrive program, and that will run during the holiday season. We ran this last year, and it'll probably be from mid-November to mid-December, and more details to come. And while we still have a couple weeks left of summer, we do want to let you know that our next quarterly liver detox will kick off on Sunday, September 19th, and you can find all of the details and sign up information by clicking the link in our show notes or heading over to our website. And then finally, we just want to ask that if you are enjoying this podcast, if you could please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. It takes just 2 minutes, and it really helps us reach more people so that others can benefit from the inspiring conversations and resources that we share each week. We are so excited to introduce today's guest, Carolina Reis Oliveira, who is the co-founder and CEO of OneSkin. Carolina holds a biochemistry degree with a Ph.D. in stem cell biology and is an alumnus of IndieBio, the world's leading biotechnology accelerator. She relocated from Silicon Valley from Latin America in 2016 to co-found OneSkin, a biotech company developing solutions to target skin aging at the molecular level and extend the health of your skin and body. Carolina is the co-inventor of 3 patents, co-author of numerous scientific publications, and has been an advocate of skin health in the longevity community. The company's signature product, OS1, just launched in early 2021 and has already received amazing feedback from users. In today's conversation, Carolina shares how she was drawn to science to help solve problems and improve people's health. She goes deep into how the skin starts to age and understanding sources of inflammation and really addressing the root cause of those sources and how that can be through our skin, which is our largest organ. You're going to learn all about OneSkin, the company that she co-founded, and their very unique signature product, OS1. Carolina discusses how our skin affects our body's health as we age and how what we put on our skin can really help reduce inflammation and help prevent aging. This episode is packed with powerful information and science-backed studies, so if you like to geek out a bit and really understand the aging process and what you can do to reduce visible and internal signs of aging, you won't want to miss this conversation. You'll learn the difference between your chronological age, which is just a number, and your biological age. And Carolina will share her lifestyle and overall habits and tips that can help you reverse your biological age. I've been personally using their signature product OS1 nightly for the past 4 months and honestly have loved the results. And of course, was thrilled with just how safe and non-toxic the product is. They're very focused on clean ingredients, which is something that we are both passionate about as well. And that's evidenced by their very low score on the Environmental Working Group's database. We just love OneSkin's mission, which is to build a future that will allow us all to grow older and continue to do what we love without significant physical limitations. OneSkin sees aging well as additional time to be spent with our loved ones and accumulating knowledge and wisdom, which really aligns with our podcast mission to help you find your art of living well. And with that, let's jump right into this enlightening and powerful conversation with Carolina.
But first, a quick word from our new sponsor, The Healthy Place, an online and brick and mortar supplement store based in Wisconsin. We know how overwhelming and confusing shopping for vitamins and supplements can be, and many people start taking supplements without understanding what their body needs. It is so important to ensure that the supplements you're taking are high quality, free of common allergens, GMOs, and third-party tested, so you know that what you are putting in your body is actually what it states on the bottle. We recently sat down and chatted with the founder of The Healthy Place, Tim O'Brien, whose mission as a company is to impact, empower, and educate every customer to learn, grow, and create a lifelong foundation of health and wellness. Both Tim and his wife and co-owner Becky strive to inspire their customers to make healthy changes that will impact every area of their life, and we couldn't agree more with their values.
One of the things that sets The Healthy Place apart from the other places that you can buy supplements from is their team of wellness consultants who are ready to help you find the highest quality product. They won't just find you a product for what you believe you may need. They ask questions to understand the underlying condition that you're trying to address, and they really guide and educate you on your journey to find wellness. And now they have an online chat feature that duplicates the level of service that you get from their in-person store, allowing you to receive personalized service from the comfort of your home. Some common ailments they love helping customers address include chronic pain, stress, anxiety, sleep issues, and even energy and immunity. We were so impressed with their genuine desire to help educate and motivate their customers to get to the root of their issue and address it in a very holistic way. Another benefit we love about findyourhealthyplace.com is that they carry many different vetted brands so that you are not stuck with one brand or product to try. So head on over to findyourhealthyplace.com and chat with an online wellness consultant. You can use code LIVINGWELL for 30% off the full price of your supplement purchase. Hi, Carolina. Thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast today. We are so excited that we met you a couple months ago, and we can't wait to share your company's mission to extend our lifespan and your unique approach to aging and how you helped to create this amazing, innovative anti-aging skincare product, which Marty and I have both been using, and we love it. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Stephanie and Martin, for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So everyone has a story, and we'd love for you to share your journey that led you to pursue a career as a scientist, focusing on aging, and ultimately moving from Latin America to California to co-found OneSkin.
Sure. The beginning, I was very into science, and I always was drawn to science because of its ability, to solve or to address the most fundamental problems of humanity, right? Our health and, how well we are living, how we are going to age. And so I dedicated my research academia life to develop research that eventually could be translated to improve, humans' life, and the main related to improving the health of our society. And so during my PhD, I was focusing on stem cell biology research and tissue engineering. And I was fascinated, by the many potential applications of that research. So, we could create new tissues in the lab. This could help us to create new organs and help solving the transplantation problems. And eventually this could be, a way to cure many diseases. And so that's how me and my two other co-founders, and later another one joined us. We started, to get together and to bring these ideas, this science that we were developing for, over 10 years in academia, to build a product that would, impact our lives. And initially, we thought about growing those, human tissues in the lab to replace animal testing. So we see that the industry is evolving, and mainly if you think about the cosmetic industry, there is a huge pressure from, from the population to completely ban animal testing. And by growing human skins in the lab, this is the best alternative method that the industry can use today to develop new cosmetics in a, in a more ethical way. And so we started with this approach, and eventually we had the opportunity to come here to San Francisco to join IndieBio. That's a biotech accelerator. So basically, in the bio, they help scientists like us to become entrepreneurs, and, to start and build their companies, and to connect to investors and mentors and so on. And here we found a very different scenario, more competitive. Other companies were already offering, a similar solution. So we decided to focus on a specific niche, and we decided to focus on the anti-aging market. And the reason is that it is a market that's, growing so fast, and the population is getting older, and every solution or product that, help us like to age better will be in high demand. But one thing that we saw is that consumers were still lost in terms of which products work, which one I can trust, and how we can help like validating the efficacy of those products. So in this process of like validating if anti-aging products, if they were really promoting an effect on rejuvenating the skin, we needed to study a lot about aging, and what's really causing aging at the molecular and cellular level. And what we found was a very interesting research, and also a new market that was basically arising, of companies targeting aging as their main value proposition. And this was very surprising to us, because we are used to see, companies targeting different or specific diseases, right? Everyone is trying to solve Alzheimer's or cancer or cardiovascular disease. But if you stop to think about it, all of those diseases, they have one common root cause, and it's mainly aging, right? After we reach our 60s and 70s, so the chances of developing all of those degenerative diseases, they increase exponentially. So wouldn't make more sense to try to treat and prevent aging in the first place? So this was kind of a very interesting realization that we found. And we also saw that we could use this approach to target skin aging, that it's a very important market. And skin aging also leads to several skin disorders, and also affects our life, right? Our self-esteem and so on. So basically, how we got to this is understanding what was the newest research in terms of longevity, and reversing aging from a biological standpoint, and how we can bring this to really develop a cosmetic product, a skincare product that is targeting the root cause and not the symptoms. That's what most of the products or the interventions that we see in the market today are focusing on.
So fascinating. And I love how you're bringing in all the science too, because I think that when a product is rooted in science, it's just even more, I don't know, I find it to be more validated, I guess, if you want to use that word. But I'm wondering, how can keeping our skin healthy actually prevent chronic illness or disease.
Yeah, that was another interesting realization that we found, after a few years researching the area of skin aging. So, if you think that your skin is your largest organ, and as your skin ages, your cells start to secrete inflammatory signals to your body. So even if those signals they are in low amounts because of the sheer size of this organ, this can build up to a very significant, inflammatory signal to our body internally. So there are studies showing that, after 50s, the levels of inflammation of your body increases, and this is associated with, the development of chronic diseases. And the source of this inflammation could be the skin, because again of the size of the skin, and since the skin is the main barrier that's directly exposed to environmental stress, this organ is directly affected by UV light and pollution and other types of stress, and all of those damages can be reflected or passed on to our internal body, and this can be a way that we are also promoting the development of chronic diseases. So one of the studies that we aim to develop in the future is to treat the skin, to have like patients or subjects participating in a clinical study, and they would treat their whole body with this cream that we are developing. And after 1 month or 2 months, we are going to measure in their blood if by treating your skin, we can decrease your inflammation levels. And this would be a completely different, a change, a paradigm change, because no one really thinks that, taking care of your skin is really, correlating with Alzheimer's, right? But that could be the case, and it makes a lot of sense if you rationalize about it. So that's something that we are working on to investigate in the near future.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's so innovative. Like, is anyone else even doing that? Like the way that you guys are thinking so broadly, but yet actually so simply, because we just like slather stuff on our bodies, not really thinking about it half the time, most people, right? And, just thinking, going further into that, so many of the anti-aging solutions that are out there are just covering up or like temporarily relieving symptoms. Whenever someone presents like, oh, you could do this to help with your face. And I always say, okay, well, how many times do I have to do it? And how long do I have to do it? Because I don't necessarily want to be getting whatever treatment it is for the rest of my life either. And so I love that your approach is getting to the root cause and like addressing the root of, the inflammation. So, similar, I guess, or different from a lot of the other cosmetic treatments that are out there, and not to say that there's anything wrong with those, right? But can you start to dive into how the product and your company address the root underlying issue that's causing our skin to age, probably faster than we'd all like?
Definitely. So basically, a lot of groups have been researching aging for the past, for many years, but since 2013, we've been able to nail down the, 9 hallmarks of aging. So what are the main driving mechanisms that is now leading to aging? And we can summarize that's basically a accumulation of damage in our cells that leads to our tissue dysfunction, and this is going to increase inflammation, and this is going to eventually translate in a disease or a disorder in our system. So one way that we can target the root is to prevent this damage of being accumulated in the first time. So when we are young, our cells and our immune system is able to recognize that damage and to repair or even to eliminate some cells that are like too damaged. And then we say, okay, we need to get rid of those cells. But when we start to get older, we lose a little bit of the efficiency of repairing damage and also to eliminate this damage from our body. So one of the strategies that a lot of companies are working on is can we eliminate only the damaged cells from our bodies? We also can call them like senescent cells or zombie cells, because these are cells that are, not functioning well, but they start secreting inflammatory signals. And so that's the rationale that we use to research new peptides that would focus only on the damaged cells. Because if you think about, acids, for example, or retinols, how they work, they will induce, a cell renewal, right? They will peel off the upper layers of your skin. You are gonna, grow other layers again, but it's not specific. You are basically, removing the good and the bad cells, the healthy cells included. And then at some point, if you do this too much, you can be exhausting your tissue, because you only have so many stem cells to replace those cells that are being renewed. And our approach is, okay, we don't want to, bother the healthy cells. They are doing their work there. We want to eliminate only the damaged ones, because we know that's the ones that are really kind of, disseminating this inflammatory cascade that leads to aging. So our approach is more specific in terms of, we found this peptide that we called OS1, and OS1 can decrease the amount of aged cells in your skin, and then can also help your skin to repair damage as we do at the younger stages of our lives.
So just by putting on this cream, it's repairing the cells.
Wow.
Yes. So the cream has this peptide that's going to penetrate to your skin. We have measured that in the lab. We can basically separate, the upper layer of the skin, the epidermis from the dermis, and we can quantify if it goes to the dermis, and then we can calculate what's the amount that's necessary to be applied, so we can get an effective concentration delivered. And yes, the result that we see is that helps repairing damage, and helps in the end, you have less aged cells than before the treatment. And that's what means rejuvenation to us, is, having your tissue in a younger state, made up of more younger and healthier cells.
And how long does that take?
That's a great question, because most of the experiments we do in the lab, so we can see very interesting experiments in 48 hours, in 5 days. And so one of the experiments that we did is we treated those cells for 3 weeks, and we saw that the levels of aged damaged cell was decreasing, and then we stopped the treatment. For 1 week, we kept like those levels lower, but then after that, it goes up again, because unfortunately the default is to age. So we kind of need, to have a consistent treatment to prevent that damage to go up again. But usually in terms of, I would say in the cellular level, it can help, it can happen very fast in a matter of days. In the tissue level and what you're going to perceive, this will vary from like few weeks to 1 to 3 months. That's the data that we have from our clinical studies.
But it's really this OS1 peptide that's doing the work. That's kind of like your signature.
Yes, it's our main proprietary, compound that we have studied so much in terms of understanding how this peptide works, like which pathways are being activated. We want to activate like the good genes, like collagen, hyaluronic acid. We want to decrease like genes that are related to inflammation and genes that degrades collagen. So we have studied this peptide very well, and we can basically, share this data. And obviously we add other ingredients that helps, hydrating the skin and, making a very good formulation that will complement the effects of our peptides with, other aspects that are also important, to have a healthy skin.
So I've been using it since we met a couple months ago, and I've been loving it. So I use it every night, and I really notice, I honestly have noticed a difference in like just the texture and the elasticity of my skin, and just sort of, I don't know, more youthful and healthy. I actually think my skin is better now, and I'm 47, to put it out there, than it was in my 20s and 30s. Absolutely. So I've been loving it. And I know that it only contains safe ingredients, which is something that we're really passionate about. So I thought maybe you could talk a little bit about, just the clean ingredients that you use and which ones that you avoid.
Sure. So yeah, I think if we want to deliver, an effective result to our customers, I think the main rule is to make sure that the product is clean or safe. And we can test this very easily in the lab. So we apply those products, any product in the market, in those skins that we can grow. And if the product is not clean, or if it contains like toxic ingredients, you're going to see the skin like thinning up and really like degenerating, very, very consistent, and you won't get surprised of like very, I would say famous brands that do things that are not good to your skin. So this is our main, I would say this is for us like the baseline. We don't want to cause any, harm to your skin. So our scientist and formulator, it's really, knowledgeable about, selecting the ingredients. And just as a reference, and because people are familiar with the EWG score, run all of our ingredients, and our average score is like 1.02. So it's like very, very clean.
Oh, wow. Yes. For people that don't know what we're talking about, the Environmental Working Group has a database, and they rate all different beauty and cosmetic products on a scale of 1 to 10, like green, yellow, red. And so a 1 is amazing. That's like the best.
That's amazing.
Score. It's the best you can get. So that makes me even happier. So sorry, keep going.
Yeah, so definitely we want to combine, or we want to provide a formulation that's both like gentle to your skin. We know that when the product's not clean, a lot of people have reactions, and it's gonna you are not like helping or improve your skin if the product is not based on of good ingredients. So that's our the first line that we think about when developing our formulation. And on the top of that, we are gonna add all the actives that we believe that are important, to help or to improve the health of your skin. So we have 3 types of hyaluronic acid. The low molecular weight will penetrate your skin and will help the production of more hyaluronic acid, from your skin. The higher molecular weight, it forms like a barrier, and it prevents water loss. So that's why it's known as an ingredient that helps like hydrating your skin. But if it's only the higher one, it's basically preventing water loss, because it's a huge molecule and can create a physical barrier. And then you have very interesting and exotic oils from the Amazon rainforest. There is one oil that's called the palmolato, and it comes from a tree that's known as the tree of youth, by the indigenous. And we found some data that really shows that it can decrease, inflammation, and that also can decrease the number of aged cells in your tissues. So we are basically combining niacinamide, vitamin E, those oils that have like this soothing and calming and anti-inflammatory properties, with our main lead peptide, that's OS1, that has this ability of repairing and reducing the number of aged cells in your skin.
It's really the wonder cream, right?
Well, our mission is really like to develop the best cream on earth to target skin aging. I think we are very capable in terms of our expertise, and we know a lot about aging and skin. So that's our mission, and we are very excited. We just launched in the beginning of the year, in mid-February, but the feedback has been great so far, and it's very similar to what you shared, Stephanie. People are feeling younger. It's hard to describe, but like their skin looks healthier, looks like more plump. So yes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So I took a before picture, and I was looking at it the other day. I'm like, I feel like, and it's only been like 2 months, maybe a little over.
Uh-huh.
Is my skin full? Because I have a narrow face. And so it's very easy to kind of see this distinction. Like, am I increasing my collagen production? I don't know. So I'll share the after pictures when I feel like it's a good time. So
Awesome. I'd love to see it.
As we're talking about aging, can you explain to our listeners the difference between like your chronological age and your biological age?
Sure. I love that because a lot of people, they see aging as a number, like, okay, I'm 50 or I'm 60 and my life is done, right? I can't do anything. So the good news is that you have your chronological age. That's, the time that you were born. This won't change. That's true. But your tissues have your biological age. So you can be 50 and your skin be at your 40s or at your 60s. And this will depend on series of factors, including your genetic background, but also including your lifestyle, right? Your habits, how much sun exposure you get, sleep, exercise, and the beauty of this is that your biological age is malleable. We can reverse your biological age with products, with like different interventions, with change your habits, fasting. There was a study that was just published that in 8 weeks, in a series of interventions, more related to lifestyle, you could reduce your biological age by 3 years.
wow.
Yes. So very
That's
interesting,
amazing.
very interesting. Then you measure through your blood, so you can measure your biological age from your blood, from your saliva, from your skin. Usually, if you want to learn the biological age of your skin, you need to get a piece of your skin. So it's not so, consumer friendly. Unfortunately, people don't like to be punched, but that's possible. We can get a piece of your skin. We can look at the DNA, and the DNA of your skin is gonna tell us, the biological age of your skin. And then we can. And by the way, this is a clinical study that we are running. We have 12 subjects using our product for 6 months up to a year, because we don't know how long it takes to really change your biological age. And after 6 months, we are going to collect a biopsy, and then we are going to measure, and we are going to compare with the not treated side to see how much we are reducing your biological age with a topical treatment.
Okay, that's very cool. Cannot wait to see the results of that study, because again, that gets to like the science, and sometimes people just want that data, right?
Yes, exactly.
So pivoting a little bit, like you have a signature product, which is for your face and your neck and your chest, and you could use on your hands, but you sort of alluded earlier to this new product that you're developing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Definitely. So, as I was mentioning, our main focus is to improve the health of your skin, and that's how your skin is connected to your whole body. And if we're talking about skin health, it's not only about your face, necks, and hands. It's really about your whole body. And so our next product is gonna be like a body lotion, a product that also contains the same peptide, and we are gonna. It's in development right now, so we expect to launch around October. But we are planning to run this clinical study that we are gonna measure the influence of our skin in our internal levels of inflammation. But this really makes sense with our approach of how we can improve the health of your skin, so we can improve the health of our body. So that's why it makes sense for us, instead of creating an eye cream or another product that maybe we'll create in the future, but let's treat our whole body first, and then we address the next needs of our customers.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited to. So when is that product coming out?
We are expecting by October.
Okay.
And so since it's on your whole body, I'm just thinking of other skin sort of issues or unwanted symptoms that people have. whether it's dry skin, acne. I know I've suffered most of my life from eczema. So if you're using it on your whole body, how can it help with some of these other psoriasis, rosacea, like other skin issues?
Yeah. And that's the beauty of, kind of going direct to consumer, because a lot of those issues, they are related, they are associated with aging, right? Dry skin, definitely, but also rosacea, psoriasis, it's also related to stress. But anyways, so our main target, yes, let's address skin aging, and we're going to find out what else we are helping, by addressing skin aging that may be the cause of the other conditions. So we have seen already people reporting improvement in their rosacea, eczema, even like acne scars, very, dark spots like getting, lighter. And, this is something that with aging, we all are going to experience more dark spots and aged spots. So this is a way that we can learn, other applications for our body, so we can, or for our product, that we can later on or focus our attention on one of those specific conditions, and even, develop something that's going to go through the FDA, or just like improve or develop a specific formulation that's, targeting that, skin condition.
What about for a person that has acne? I know we have a lot of parents that listen to this, and we've had a lot of people tell us like their teenagers have acne, or some adults have, adult onset acne. Do you have any suggestions, recommendations based on your knowledge?
So acne is a disbalance in the skin microbiome, right? So as we have a microbiome in our guts, we also have in our skin. It's very important to keep the health of your skin. Our product's not intended to, I would say, to manage or to influence directly our microbiome in terms of usually products that are targeting acne, they should like decrease the number of, the bad bacteria and increase the number of like the healthy bacteria. So our product was not designed specifically for that. But one thing that I can say, and the main treatment for acne today, it's acids, right? It could be like retinols or other types of acids. And usually those products, they tend to dry your skin a lot. Even people that take Accutane, your mouth. And so it's very, very important to hydrate and to, repair or treat your skin while using those acids. So you're not like, basically treating one side and getting another problem. So, and that's another study that we want to run. If we combine our products, with, a retinol for treating acne, we do believe that we're going to, maintain that healthy skin that a lot of times we lose because of those harsh treatments that unfortunately, it's still largely used because it's still in development for other therapies that are more, effective without the side effects, right?
Right. And so I love what you're saying is your product is honestly good for everyone. So regardless of whether you're focused on anti-aging, it can be used by someone that's younger, that at this moment has great skin and isn't worried, but it's hydrating and nourishing, and it's doing all these things. And it's also preventative, because at the root, it's going to help to rejuvenate, get rid of the bad cells, the unhealthy cells, and create new healthy ones. So it's just like I love that it's like this one-stop shop, it's like the one product that you should have in your beauty cabinet.
That's what I usually share. If you liked our product, if it works well for you, it's definitely something that you should, have on your part of like your routine to keep your skin healthy. And we also designed it to be like, as you said, like all in one product, because I mean, who has time for like 10-step skincare routine, right? So let's make our life easier, and like let's pack everything together in one product that can, obviously you need to apply sunscreen. Yes. That's another very important piece of, protecting your skin. But in terms of, a serum and a moisturizer, usually our product can pack it all together,
Yes, I love it. It's very efficient. Yeah. So I know you've covered a few things throughout, but we love to leave our listeners with just some simple tips that they can use and implement immediately into their lives. Can you share kind of your top 1 to 2 tips of someone who maybe is focused on reducing aging, and both really inside the body and then our appearance of the skin?
Definitely. So let's start with the skin because we were talking about it. I think there is this basic combo that everyone needs is a product to hydrate and repair your skin, and also a product to protect. That in this case is going to be sunscreen. So again, sunscreen will protect you. Our product will help you repair what we were not protected from, because eventually we end up accumulating some damage. So I think this combo is very important. Also, clean your skin well. That's basically my skincare routine is very simple.
And your skin is beautiful. I know all our listeners cannot see you, but we see you, and you have glowing, beautiful skin.
Yes.
And I can tell you that I've
Yes.
used 5, 6 products in the past, and my skin was full of spots and was uneven, and I couldn't go out without makeup, and that really kind of bothered me. And now that I wear very little makeup, and I feel very comfortable in my own skin, in my natural skin. And this is just peace of mind. It's feeling good on your own skin is amazing. So yeah, that's one piece. And the other piece is about your whole body, right? As we were talking, a lot of factors will influence our age, how we age, And I think, to me personally, maybe the hardest one to control is kind of the level of stress, because being an entrepreneur, building a company, it's not something very smooth journey. And even if people that know me, I'm not stressed out all the time, but there is that internal stress that sometimes we don't realize. So that's something, that your levels of cortisol, that's something that you always should watch for. And then I try, meditating, and things that help me kind of, to relax is going out to nature, exercise, having a good night of sleep, and also, having good relationships around you. I think all of these helps decreasing your levels of cortisol. There are other tips that are a little bit more challenging for people that want to try, fasting. Fasting is a way that you can basically help your cells to recycle. So when we are out of food, basically your cells will be more kind of mindful. Okay, I don't have a lot of energy here. Let me fold this protein a little better. Let me get rid of this trash here. So it's kind of a time for your tissues to recycle. Some people do the intermittent fasting, that's 18 and 8 hours. No, 16 and 8 hours. And then some people do longer periods. So that's something that's interesting. If you want to do from time to time, maybe once a month, you do 36 hours of fasting. Of course, everyone needs to try what works best for them, because if you are feeling very stressed because you're doing fasting, it's also not working out.
Right. So, it's a very unique, it's a very individual intermittent fasting. You have to figure out what works for you, right? Well, how can people find you and your product?
So our product is available on our website, oneskin.co or .co. I am on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. I can share my, do you want me to share? I think my on LinkedIn is my full name. Probably, I don't know if people will find easily, but it's Carolina Reis Oliveira.
And we'll link it up in the show notes, so you don't have to worry about spelling and all of that.
Okay. That's good.
So one final question we like to ask all of our guests is, what does the art of living well mean to you?
Love that question. So to me, the art of living well is to be conscious of the choices that we make in our daily lives, because basically everything is a consequence of the choices that we are making today. So this is also related to aging, right? The way that we are, treating our body, we'll see the reflection or the consequence in like few years from now. So to me, be conscious of always trying to, to make the right, choices and things that are good to you, in order to create, that harmony, not only for your body, for yourself, but also, for the people around you. So finding that balance, work-life balance, and finding that, peace inside you, and again, cultivating meaningful relationships.
That was beautiful. And I love it. It was a very holistic view of all the different components of your life to live well, and thinking about not just yourself, but others. So, one thing we forgot to mention is that you have a special promo offer for our listeners for the next month. And we'll link all this up in the show notes. Using the code SKINSPAN15, you'll get 15% off.
Yes, exactly.
So go check out her product.
Go check out the product, and then you can look out for this new product that'll be coming into the fall. So.
Yeah, and maybe I should suggest for everyone to subscribe to our newsletter, because we share a lot of great content in terms of, healthy tips that you can apply, to your skin, but also to your whole body. We consider ourselves a longevity company, so our mission is really to be, that channel from academia to, consumers, of bringing knowledge and, information that will help us and everyone, to live and age better. So don't forget to sign up.
Yes. And speaking of your website, when I was doing, my research and looking at you guys, I just love some of the passages and quotes that you have. And getting to your mission as like a longevity company, we believe, this is what's from your website, we believe there's no reason you can't be dancing on a table at 80 years young. And I loved that. That just to me like screamed like your mission, and we should all want to be dancing on tables at 80, right? And not worry about what's the number, how old we are. Oh, we can't do that because we're a certain age. So I think it's just a very fun vibe too.
Yes, and honestly, that's what I feel. And I don't want to feel that aging will bring any limits to, to the things that I love doing. So that's why I'm working on aging, and we are going to do something about it so we can, have more years of life to be enjoyed, and, to be spent with the people that we love. So
sounds amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Carolina, for being a guest today. We love having you and can't wait to share this with our listeners.
Thank you so much, Stephanie and Marnie. This was a great conversation.
Thank you so much for listening to the Art of Living Well podcast. We are so grateful that you joined us today.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or anyone else you think may benefit from this information. We'd love for you to subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and tag the Art of Living Well podcast on social media.
If you want more inspiration in between episodes, you can find us on social media at theartofliving_well on Instagram and Facebook, where we will share snippets from our daily lives and our journey to living well.